Hello there, in this video I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks about DALL-E 3, whether you're using ChatGPT Plus or whether you're using Bing.com, all the nuances that I discovered in the last few days experimenting with ChatGPT Plus and with Bing. We're going to talk about the restrictions and how to find a way around them. So stay tuned until the end because this is going to be a wild ride. So first of all, we are in ChatGPT Plus. And if you are a Plus member, as of time of this recording, you should be able to see down below here on the sandbox this little image icon on the left hand side. So make sure you are in GPT-4 and you click on default, that needs to be checked, and you should be able to attach now images as well. So now you'll be able to converse with ChatGPT using images. You can ask GPT to analyze an image, describe an image, or even come up with some other format for the image, and so on and so forth. Now we're gonna experiment straight away with an image that I created in DALL-E 3. So I'm gonna go into this icon down below here, I'm gonna click on it. It's gonna go through my browser and I'm gonna go into one of the images I created in DALL-E 3. So let's try this image here. So now it's going to upload the image, and once it's uploaded you can actually type whatever you want ChatGPT to do. I'm gonna say describe the image attached. And ChatGPT came up with this very thorough description of the image. It says here the image depicts a dynamic and vibrant splash of liquid or fluid, possibly representing digital art or representation of sound waves. Now if I ask, can you craft the right prompt to replicate the image? So and see if it's gonna come up with the right prompt for me. So it just generated the prompt for me, and there is a little bit of warning here on top saying that, you know, creating the exact replica is going to be challenging. We know that, so we're going to go and highlight all of this, and we're going to copy. Then we're going to go into a new chat. We're going to go into GPT-4 under DALL-E 3, and we're going to paste that in and see what DALL-E 3 is going to come up with. Usually just by using iteration you might come up with something similar. And DALL-E 3 came up with 3 examples which are very similar to the original, but of course these are like illustration sort of style. But still, now we can iterate this and I can make it even more real. So I can make this, for instance, the liquid transparent. I can say create a similar. So I essentially said here to, you know, create a similar concept, but the liquid should be transparent and make it look like a real macro photo. So it's a very simple language I'm using, very straightforward English, nothing too complicated, and see if by iterating this we'll come up with something similar. And ChatGPT amazingly created 4 photos, very realistic photos of that liquid. So if I click on any of them, you can see the prompt on the right hand side, and these are pretty stunning photos. And I can also change the aspect ratio if I wanted to. So to change the aspect ratio, all I need to do is simply just ask create a 16:9 of these images. So it's not going to generate exactly the same images, but it's going to make them pretty similar to the one that is just created. So just going to ask to create 16:9. And I'm really impressed of what I got here. So if we can see here, I've got this 1024 by 1024. In the previous videos, I actually say 1080 by 1080. I was wrong. It's 1024 by 1024. And now I've got a 16:9 aspect ratio. If you want to know what aspect ratio the DALL-E 3 can do, you just ask for it. What aspect ratio can you generate, and can you do 4K? And now it's telling me that it can do it 1024 by 1024 pixels, wide 16:9, 1792 by 1024, and tall portrait 1024 by 1792. And of course here it says it's not 1920 by 1080, but the resolution is going to be pretty similar if it's 16:9. And it says while this is not quite 4K resolution, which is typically 3840 by 2160, the images are of high quality and can be used for various purposes. That's pretty much it. So I can actually have this 1792 by 1024, which is good enough for me. So if I click on this one, these are pretty stunning. I mean, I can use this easily to do any sort of art, create any sort of content I want. Pretty amazing. So this is how you can iterate a prompt from an image using ChatGPT Vision. So if you go back to the other prompt, so this is where we started. So we started from an image, we asked to describe it, and also we asked to craft the right prompt. And after iterations, we were able to actually to create something even similar or even better than this image here. Now let's go back here and let's attach another image. So I want to attach a logo which has some icons and some other things in it, and see if we can describe it. I'm gonna just say describe, and I'm gonna just wait until it elaborates the image. And it says here, the image presents a black stylized graphic against a light beige background. The design is composed of multiple elements. This is a yoga pose, and as you can see here, it says the image here, the yoga pose appears to be a tree pose or Rikshasana pose, and also tells me that the surrounding elements are a musical symbol, cloud and rain, aircraft, laptop, and is all spot on. It actually knows exactly what's in the image, which is pretty impressive. So when I try to attach something, if you attach a PDF, it won't accept it. So it only accepts JPEG images. And as you can see here, when I try to drag it in, and it tells me what I can drop into the page. It says GIF or GIF, JPEG, JPG, PNG, and WebP as well. So if I want to, for instance, add this image, I would have to take a screenshot. I'm going to take a screenshot and attach it. This is just a price listing of Shure products. So I'm going to go now into my desktop and I'm going to drag it in. So I just dragged this PDF, screenshot, which is now a JPEG or PNG actually. I'm going to say describe the document and make a table out of it. And let's see what ChatGPT is capable of doing out of this brochure. As you can see from this brochure with this image, essentially it kind of created for me this table, and it would carry on basically writing all the products with all the prices. This is a game changer. I mean, this is like you put something in it, a diagram, something you don't understand, you slap it into ChatGPT and it will automatically create any format you like, a diagram, a table, whatever you like. So this is amazing. Now I want to talk about how you can circumvent some of the restrictions that we have in ChatGPT Plus and some of the restrictions we have also in Bing. Now, comparing to the two, comparing to DALL-E 3 within ChatGPT Plus and DALL-E 3 within Bing.com, there are restrictions, of course, but in Bing.com you can, for instance, create images using celebrity references or famous brand as well. So one that I tried to do was Elsa from Frozen, because my daughters are fixated with them. They are huge fan, and I'm also a huge fan as well. So basically what I did here, I created a version of Elsa and Anna. So all I did here says create an image of Elsa from Frozen wearing a short summer dress, and easily just created that for me. And also I created the same thing with Anna without any problem, without any warning. And also I created something, I iterate a little bit more, create 4 images inspired by Anna from Frozen wearing a short summer dress, illustration style. And of course the limitation in Bing.com is the fact that you have 1024 by 1024 like square images, whether in ChatGPT Plus you can create 16 by 9 and also vertical aspect ratio. That's the only limitation you have in Bing.com. So I noticed in Bing.com it created everything in sort of like a cartoonish style, which I didn't want to necessarily have a restriction on that. I wanted DALL-E 3 to give me a little bit more designs, a little bit more styles. So I went into ChatGPT Plus and I went into all my prompts here, and I show you basically all that I did. I spent like hours trying to experiment about this. So I asked exactly the same prompt here: create an image of Elsa from Frozen wearing a short summer dress, and it says, I'm sorry, but I can't create an image of Elsa from Frozen due to copyright restrictions. So that already is a wall for me that says, okay, I can't use any of these famous, you know, characters or celebrities or any other famous brand, but I can circumvent that by saying something like this: create an image inspired by Elsa from Frozen wearing a short summer dress, illustration style. That's what I added after that. As you can see here, I've got 2 iterations, 2 by 2. So if you click on the first one it says without the illustration style. And what it did, it basically gave me these 2 images, kind of in 16 by 9 but in vertical, like a vertical mode. I don't know why it gave me this, but basically I got this like a photo style image and an illustration style of a character that, you know, resemble Elsa somehow. But yeah, it's pretty beautiful. And also I created a second iteration here, illustration style, and as you can see, it did a much better job. So I've got 4 images here of Elsa in 16 by 9 without me asking actually the aspect ratio. No, I didn't even ask that, but as you can see, it created 4 beautiful illustration that I can also rotate as well. And then I kept on iterating this. Essentially, I created an image inspired by Anna from Frozen, so the same sort of way this, I crafted for Elsa, I did the same thing for Anna. And as you can see here, it created 3 in this case, 3 different images of Anna, 2 in 16 by 9 aspect ratio, and another one is 9 by 16 aspect ratio in vertical. Then I went down here and I created an image inspired by Anna from Frozen, and then its illustration style. Make sure the dress is short because I wanted to make you know, different style of dresses. And as you can see here, it gave me other 4 iterations of Anna, and as you can see, I've got a second attempt. I regenerate them and it created some beautiful representation of the character. And I wanted to show you this from the folder that I created for that. So as you can see, I rotated the image, and this is the sort of stuff you can create with DALL-E 3, just simply iterating the prompt. This is another one, that sort of summer dress. This is another iteration and it came out beautifully. This is another sort of illustration of that, the same Anna character. I created this out of just by iterating and iterating again in ChatGPT+. These images here are pretty comparable to what you can do in Midjourney, in my personal opinion. Now I went down here and I created, for instance, a swimwear collection style you know, prompt, and I started to iterate that. So by iterating this, it came out with new design, new styles. Also just made it like an image of a man wearing this clothing, another woman here, and another man. It's like in like a 50s style, which is pretty cool. Then I ask another prompt, take image 4, which is the same, this image 4 here, and I says use the same face and style of image 4 and same illustration, and create a swimwear collection style. And it basically came out with these other 2 images, pretty stylish, pretty usable for any sort of content you want to create. I regenerate that. That's another trick. Once you iterate a prompt, make sure you regenerate 2 or 3 times, and sometimes it comes up with some cool patterns. Like now, these are just patterns that came out of, you know, nothing. I didn't really ask for this pattern, and also it came out with this other illustration down here. And also I said I just changed the swimwear collection to swimwear limited edition collection style, and just by saying that, it created this other 2 illustration. And my 5th iteration, it came out as mind-blowing. So just the 5th time I tried, it came up with these beautiful colorful images, and I just said here, make it very colorful. That's the only thing that I added, and it created these 3 images, amazing images. This is just so detailed and so, you know, just high resolution as well, so very usable. And down below here I said based on image 2, so I iterated on this image and I started to, you know, experimenting more and more, and it came out with other images, other interesting iteration of the same image into different character, even like a sort of a manga anime style. And and then that is it. That's what I managed to create just by iterating Elsa from the beginning and creating this thread, you know, with different modification, different little things that you can do, and this is the end up result. That's what you can actually make out of, from one idea you can make something completely different, completely original, and that's what I suggest you do to use in DALL-E 3. Now if you use Bing, now with Bing you have the limitation of the aspect ratio. I created something similar here, and again this is a the same sort of prompt that I use in ChatGPT. Is wild illustration depicting an Asian woman with swimwear, featuring abstract and colorful design in the Calcedonia collections. So Calcedonia is an Italian brand, so here Bing didn't have any issue in terms of replicating or, you know, using that as an idea, and it came up with this full design, pretty beautiful. But of course this is something that I wouldn't be able to do necessarily in ChatGPT 4. But again, here you have the aspect ratio limitation, you have the fact that you can't save more than, I think you got like 15 creations here on the right hand side. And again, make sure when you create something in Bing.com, just click on the creation you want and save it. So in order to save it within Bing.com, make sure you have a Hotmail email address. So log in, create one, it's free, and then just click on save here. Once you click on image, click on save, and it will save it into your folder within Microsoft Bing. You can share it, of course, you can download it, and this is 1024 by 2024. And customize this, it will go into Microsoft Designer, which is going to create, you know, it's going to make composition with other objects to share it in social media. But it's not something that I'm really interested in. Perhaps you might want to create something out of it. But this is just to, when you click on customize, this is just to give you an idea on how you can use that image and how to perhaps create merchandise out of it. If you are into print on demand, or if you want to create perhaps like t-shirts, specific artwork, you can definitely use Microsoft Designer as a starting point, using your creation, and see that here on the right hand side is going to generate that image and all different scenarios and all different, in brochures, in posters, in animations. So have a look at that. Microsoft Designer can be quite useful as a tool. It's free to use and is browser based, so you don't have to install anything on your computer. So as you can see here, the same image is being portrayed in different scenarios, how that picture would look on a frame and on a brochure, etc, etc. So have fun with Microsoft Designer. So if you really want to reap the benefit of DALL-E 3, my suggestion is get a subscription with ChatGPT Plus, there where you can actually create images and iterate them and create really something unique. Because Bing.com has its limitations, and I wouldn't rely on that entirely. Just for the fact that you can't change the aspect ratio is just a very limiting for me. This could be a starting point for for creating something, and then switch into ChatGPT Plus, and then iterate as I did with Elsa and Anna from Frozen, and create something completely new. I think one of the potential in Bing.com so far is for the creation of logos. If you want to create logos, Bing.com/create, it's the perfect place, because everything is squared. You can create logos directly here. You don't have to necessarily use very complicated prompts. You can actually use very simple prompts here, and it will create a logo for you. For instance, if I say create a logo about online learning, and just by saying that, I click on create, and there we go. Now I've got 4 logos that I can use. I can iterate, I can just ask different question there, I can just add some more details there. Perhaps you want to do it in a minimalistic style, and just press create again. And now I created 4 logos, much better than the other ones. I quite like the number 3 and number 4. So as you can see, Bing.com is perfect in my opinion to create logos and very simple images. But if you want to, you know, dig deep and take a step further into image creation, you need to go into ChatGPT Plus. That's the only way. So I wanted to show you how you can create text within DALL-E 3. So this is an iteration where I actually asked to add some text. I said here, based on image number 3, which is the image here, I say, which I love, add a text that says Made in Fashion Summer Collection. And of course, Made in is kind of a very difficult word, perhaps, for DALL-E to interpret. So it kind of trying to write it down here, Made in, actually nailed it down here, but not the 2023. So if I now go to my second iteration here, as you can see here, I tried to write all these words down. If I download this and I flip it over, let's go back here, let's rotate this image and I'm gonna flip horizontally. Made in Fashion Summer Collection is actually nailed down all of the words. Made in is actually with the I here and put the J instead, but it's pretty amazing. It just matched all the words that I asked, even though it puts it in like in reverse, flipped it for some reason. And the 12th iteration that I did, it came up with this, Summer Collection 2023. The CTI here, the CT is kind of fused together, but you can still read it. It also could be just kind of stylish way to write that down, which is pretty cool. This is definitely usable. I can use this, and of course I can easily change that into something like Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop, you can use Canva. Of course, if you want to change the text, or if you want to put a text box on top of it, you can use Canva, which is a free version of Canva would do. If you want to instead amend the text, you need to use Canva Pro, and you also need to see if Canva Pro can scan the actual text and change it for you. That's another question mark. So here I've got Summer Collection 2023. It nailed it. Collection and 2023 Summer. It kind of left a kind of little space between the two M's. Very useful, very stylish. Quite like it. And here the third iteration, I tried to see if DALL-E could actually nail down writing the text properly. Here it says Summer Collection, and it didn't actually write 2023 properly, but that one can be easily changed by creating like a text box in Canva with the same color, cloning the color and put the right number there, which is not very big deal. The fourth iteration, again, it says Summer Collection, Summer Collecton. Didn't write properly here, but I can actually easily change that again in Canva without any issue. But this is how it will nail, you know, the text. For me, this is perfect. It's fine. I can actually use this DALL-E 3 to write text on my images, and if the text is not too long, like 2 words would be acceptable. Even before, it kind of nailed down my 3 and 4 words together, Made in Fashion Summer Collection, and it did it in a kind of a weird way, but it managed to do it, which is pretty amazing. The other thing that DALL-E 3 does very well now, that it didn't do at all before, was the ends. So as you can see here, if I zoom in, the hands now are pretty accurate. And I notice also in the other photos as well, the ends here, for instance, are, yeah, they're okay, they're acceptable. So this doesn't mess up ends that much. I notice the toes, sometimes it gives me 6 toes, but for instance on this image here, you can see the toes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's fine there. This is like an art illustration, so it's not too much of an issue. Here you can't even see them, here, but the hands are pretty amazing everywhere. I actually try, I iterate this images so many times that these ends here look a little bit weird, but still 1, 2, 3, 4, the middle finger is fine. Yeah, I think it's acceptable here as well. Again, this is an illustration, it's not really a photo image, but this one here, amazing. This one, there's nothing to say on the way it drawn the hands here. Let's have a look at these hands here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, these hands are not amazing, but you won't even notice that. This image here, 1 2 3 4 5, got the, yeah, the number is correct here. 1 2 3 4, and the other one probably is hiding, but yeah, it's fine. So the hands are now definitely more accurate than before. So I'm pretty impressed about text handling, and the draw of the hands and the toes are pretty accurate as well. The toes here are almost okay. Yeah, they're okay, that's fine. So the other thing I wanted to show you is the ability to actually take a photo with your phone using ChatGPT here. So if you have the Plus version, all you need to do is simply go to ChatGPT. I'm using an iPhone, so you can actually go over there on the phone, and I'm gonna show you this on a screenshot. Oh, but as you can see here, I've got now on ChatGPT 4, I've got an option to either take a photo or to actually grab a photo from my library, or even go into my folder section as well. If I want to grab a file from there, I can do that. So I can take a photo from here, and when you tap on the photo, I can see this is my camera. I can take a screenshot of anything I want, and it will basically analyze it for me. I can actually ask anything. The thing I want to actually show you is how I manage to actually read photos and translate them for me. So for instance, I've got here a brochure about some exercise, and this is in Japanese. I couldn't choose any language more complicated than Japanese or Chinese. I'm gonna take a photo now, and then I'm gonna show you on my computer, because ChatGPT on your phone will sync with your ChatGPT Plus on your computer. Now is uploading the photo, and I say translate the first exercise, and it's just translated for me. Right now it's translating it. The first section that I ask, front stretch, sitting, it sees the image clearly. As you can see here, now I've got the image I took, which is this brochure, and I've got, you know, 5 different exercises, and I just asked ChatGPT to translate the first exercise, which is this section here, which is sitting. It says stretch out the muscles at the front of your thigh, avoid arching your lower back or lifting. As you can see, arching and lifting, it's very accurate. Recommended duration, stretch each leg for 10 seconds. It says exactly that. My wife is Japanese, and it tells me that this is accurate, and it's pretty amazing. So I might miss some of the, you know, some of the letters, some of the symbols perhaps, but it does a pretty good job in translating something. If you are out and about and you have your phone with you with ChatGPT and you want to translate something, take a photo and it will translate it for you. Pretty amazing. So this is just mind-blowing, the fact that you can now tap into ChatGPT Vision and analyze photos like this. I hope it's been useful for you. I dragged myself a little bit longer than I should, but I wanted to really show you all the things that I discovered so far. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.